Hi everybody, I'm Peter Millard and this is 10-Minute Workshop, where 10 minutes in the workshop is never 10 minutes wasted. In the workshop this week I've got a quick 2-minute tip for you, but before we get to that, just a quick chat about a couple of videos that I did recently. If you're a subscriber, you'll have seen the ones I'm talking about, and if you haven't subscribed yet, well, maybe now's the time to check that out, because then you'll be notified whenever I put up something new. I did a sort of designer trestle table build for a client recently. It was the first one I'd done, so I did a sort of more involved sort of 35 minute 3-part video a couple of weeks ago, and then most recently last Friday I posted a sort of a director's cut, like that project just sort of squished down into 10-11 minutes, something like that. There was less chat from me, a lot more fast forwarding. Some of the processes, the duplicated processes, were cut out, and I asked in the video for a bit of feedback. I've been getting some great feedback from everybody who's watched, both in the comments of each relevant video and also through Twitter at 10-Minute Shop, if you want to connect to me through Twitter. But I know not everybody comments in the video, not everybody has time, not everybody wants to be involved in social media. I wasn't for a long time. It passes me by somewhat. So what I've done, I've put up a quick and dirty survey through Google Forms. There's a link in each of those videos now, and you can also go to through the website, www.10minuteworkshop.com, then contacts survey. You'll see a form there. If you fancy filling that in to give me a bit of feedback about which one you prefer, which one was better for you, if you preferred the shorter, snappier version, or if you prefer the longer version with more detail, that'd be really good. If you're not aware, this whole YouTube thing for me is a bit of a 1-year-long experiment, and I want to make sure that I'm producing the content that's of most interest to you guys, my viewers, and to me as well, of course. But if you can fill that survey out for me, I would really appreciate it. Anyway, enough of me blathering. Oh no, actually there's one other thing. We hit a milestone, all of us, last week. I got 1 million minutes of watch time. 1 million minutes. Literally, my videos have been watched for 1 million minutes. I think if the maths is right, it's something like 694 days continuously, 24 hours a day, 7 hours. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. That's over two years worth of video watched in the last 7 months. That's pretty amazing. So thank you very much to everybody who's watched, and thanks to everybody who has subscribed to the channel. It's growing quite nicely. But anyway, enough blather from me. We got a 2-minute tip for you on drilling and dust collection coming right up after the jingle. When I first started doing this for a living, or 16, 17 years ago, the idea back then of actually attaching a vacuum cleaner to a power tool seemed, crazy. Why would anybody do that? Fast forward a few years, in fact, since my first festival in 2006, the idea of using a power tool without dust collection seems equally crazy. It's like, driving without a seatbelt now, having had seatbelt laws for so long. But there's still an area where power tools just don't have dust collection built in. And that's the thing we use, certainly more than most, drilling. Now there are some drills, hard to imagine, but there are drills that did have dust collection built into them. This is one particular monstrosity that I bought a while back. I've got to say, the dust extraction isn't bad at all. It has this sort of springy thing which vacuums the dust into this chamber, but the actual dust collection is terrible. This thing leaked like a sieve. It was just shockingly bad. It was like you'd walk through client's house scattering sort of brick dust behind you, which is exactly the thing that you were trying to avoid. You can get little add-ons that are supposed to help with extracting dust while you're drilling. This is one. This is the Festool one, and it's fine while the surface that you want to drill on is really flat and smooth. But as soon as you take it off a flat, smooth surface, drilling into brickwork, say, it gets a bit trickier then, because obviously it relies upon the suction it generates through the vacuum hose to make that contact. Now, I've got to tell you, even though I have these little gadgets and these dinguses, One of the things that I find doing more than anything is, if I've got to drill something and I've got my extractor nearby, I just hold the nozzle of the extractor up against the drill and use it that way. And the other thing you can do is, if you don't have an extractor handy, and you should, but if you don't, a good old-fashioned dustpan and brush held up in the same way captures the vast majority of the dust that you're likely to create. So that's it for this week's 2-minute tip. A dust collector and a drill is actually all you need, or failing that, a dustpan and brush with your drill works really well. Listen, thanks for watching. I hope you found it useful, hope you find it enjoyable. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it amongst your friends, and do consider subscribing, then you'll be notified when I put up something new. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.